In this video, I want to talk about a few very simple changes you can make inside of your ad account, inside of your marketing, to increase your return on ad spend. We've done the exact same thing that I'm about to show you to increase certain campaigns from a 1 or a 2x return on ad spend all the way up to a 7 or 8 times return on ad spend. So these are all super actionable, very tactical, and easy for you to implement today. And let's get right into it. Now, before I go into the ads manager, I kind of want to break a few things down for you here in this whiteboard, just to kind of walk you through a few of the technicalities. So the first thing that you can really look at adjusting is your ad itself. And I just want to talk about like each element of the ad here, and I used one of mine as an example. So I'm just going to go from top to bottom. The first thing besides the page is this piece of copy right here, which is the body copy, which will be the caption in most cases. But specifically, I'm talking about these first 2 lines of copy, which is essentially the hook or the lead-in. And this is a very easy thing that you can adjust and tweak to test fast and to get better results with your ads. We've actually found just by simply testing a new hook or a new lead-in for the copy specifically has dramatically increased the return on ad spend for certain ad campaigns. So that's one kind of lever that you can pull within the ad itself. Then if we move down to like the actual video or potentially even the picture, this is where we can look at the actual hook inside the actual creative as well. So if this copy here is hooking people, I would call this the lead-in, my great handwriting. But then this in here, whatever the video says, like the first few seconds or the first like line of text on the creative, that's going to be the hook for the creative. After that point, below that, you're going to have the actual headline itself, and my handwriting here, but you get the idea. Headline here, and then the call to action button. So what are some very quick things that you can duplicate and test inside of your ad campaigns? And I'll show you how to do this in a minute, but I just want to kind of show the strategy side of it first. A few simple levers. One, we tend to steer away from anything button-wise unless it's learn more. Purchase campaigns, people will use buy now, shop now, sign up for maybe some other things. And those can work, yes, but we've found really good success at using learn more. I think it's just because it's not as like invasive or commitment filled, right? Like learn more, it's very nonchalant. There's nothing really that they have to do. And this is something that's worked very well for us for an e-commerce client that we started working with as well. And this works for coaches, consultants, experts, e-commerce, your booking calls, you're getting low ticket sales, whatever it is. If we look at this account, now this is only like the past 2 months, we'll say. You can see like the average cost per sale on these ones were like 49. Maybe there's just a couple at 14, but it's really averaging between this like 30 and $50 price points, like a $37 CPA, but not at scale. What we did is we changed a few very simple things. And one of them was actually changing the learn more button or the shop now button to a learn more button. And just today, after launching this immediately and making that change along with a few other things that I'm going to talk about, we already picked up a purchase at $5, which is a lot lower than what we've seen in some of their other campaigns historically before we started helping them. Now, if we go to the return on ad spend here, I'm just going to pull up. Yeah, we're already at like close to a 3x just on that one. Not a huge average order value on that one, but that's fine. All that to say, changing this button can make a very, very big difference. That's something else that you can do to kind of make some good improvements to your ads. Now, the next thing here is I want to talk about the entire ad as a whole. So there's obviously these small elements you can change, which is one of the things that you can do is changing some of these elements, either a combination of them, all of them, or something individually, right? The lead-in of the copy, the hook of the creative itself, the headline, or the button. Those are like the primary elements of an ad, and that is one thing out of the 3 things that I'm showing you today that you could change. Next is actually the angle and the ad itself, like the actual content. So the ad itself, like let's say it's a video ad or a creative or even the entire copy as well, they're usually comprised of 3 things: a hook, the body, and then the call to action. Each one of these can be changed individually. So for example, if we change the lead-in of the copy, we're technically changing the hook of that entire piece of text, but you can also go further down and change the body copy, and you could even change the call to action. Now, within that whole thing, there's actually going to be a more overarching way of looking at it there's different angles for each of these creatives, right? So like, let's say you could technically have 3 different ads approaching things from 3 different angles, and depending on which angle you're selling is what makes the ad different. An example that I always tend to use is if you were selling chairs, some people are going to sell a chair or want a chair because it looks good. Other people will want it because it's very comfortable or ergonomic, and other people are going to want a chair that fits both of those needs. But there's going to be some overlap there. So you're going to want to make sure, if you were selling chairs, for example, you have some ads that talk about how comfortable it is. You have some ads that talk about maybe how affordable it is. You have another ad that talks about how it looks. And then you have another ad where it kind of all overlaps. And you'll basically have this like Venn diagram where you have ads on one side of the spectrum, and then you have ads that are overlapping as well. This is really important to do in a lot of your ads because you could make one ad worth 10 or even more. And this is something that we've been doing a lot recently. And a very easy way you can actually do it is by using AI. So what we'll do is, like, for example, for that video ad that I was just showing you in this one here, what I could do is I could take this video ad, go to something like Arc Ads. If you guys aren't familiar, I've spoken about it in some previous videos. And you can actually choose AI actors to clip on at the front of your video and completely change the hook, completely change the angle, and change what the entire ad looks like with a very simple change. So that's the second thing, is looking at the actual angle of the ad first off, and then what elements inside of that angle can I change. Usually the hook, or the farther up in the ad that you can change, the higher of effect it's going to have. So the headline is going to make a big change because it's like the first thing people see. Same with the button, same with the lead-in or the hook here of the copy. Same thing goes with a video or image ad. The first big headline they see, if it was an image ad, the first 5 seconds of the video is going to make the biggest difference. So that's usually where you want to start your changes, is at the hook. And then work your way down to a new body, new call to action, and then try testing those things across different angles as well. Now, kind of the last thing here, because I'm going to show a few things in the Ads Manager as well, is considering the difference between media buying versus marketing. Now, most of the time, and on my channel, and a lot of people talk to me about different media buying changes that they can make. How can I lower the cost per click? How can I lower CPMs? How can I increase click-through rate? What are changes that I can make on the media buying side? What tests can I do? Do I set it up as bid cap or a CBO? Those are all great. But 90% of the time, the problem can be solved by looking at your marketing versus your media buying. And the marketing is the actual message. It's this stuff that I was speaking about up here, the angle, the hook, the body, the call to action, the lead-in, and how you're kind of grabbing people. And then if you're taking them to a landing page, how can you improve that conversion rate of the landing page to get you better results? A lot of people will lean on media buying stuff when they don't really look at the marketing and see, like, is my offer even resonating with people? Do people even want to buy this? And if not, you may be in the wrong offer, you may be selling the wrong thing, and that's okay, but at least you know, and then you can change it. Outside of that, as far as kind of increasing your results and what can you test lever-wise if you were looking at media buying changes to actually improve results, I think one of the best things that you can do is follow this KPI cheat sheet, which I will pull up right now. And it shows you the exact levers and the things that you can change. So if I go to this KPI cheat sheet here, which is in our school group, which you can click below if you want to get access totally for free, it shows you all the key KPIs and all the things that you can test and change to influence it. Now, this is super important because a lot of people say, oh, my CPMs are high, that means Facebook's coming for me. Now, yes or no? Sometimes there's shots where Facebook will be punishing you for doing something incorrectly, speaking a certain way in your ad, maybe your page has gone against policy, different things. And sometimes we can't explain Facebook, right? But outside of that, it's usually coming down to you having to test more, you having to figure out what angle actually resonates with the market the most. And these are some very easy ways to do that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Very few simple, easy, high leverage ways that you can improve your ad performance. And if you want more resources like this, just join the Predictable Profits Mastermind. It's totally free. You can join the group by clicking the link in the description, and I'll see you there.